What's going on, guys? My name is Friend, and welcome to the second episode of Player Interview. Today, my guest is Tweva.
Hello, guys.
How's it going, man?
It's going all right. Just another day in Bliss, another day in paradise.
Yeah, what you been up to?
Here recently, I've just been working on a noxious demon guy. It's been giving me a little bit of issues on the audio the past couple days, but besides that, I've just been taking care of business and skilling as much as I can.
Oh, hell yeah. That sounds fun, man. I'll definitely throw a link to that video in the description and also on the screen for you guys if you want to check it out. But let's go ahead and get on with the questions, man.
Alrighty.
Alright, so first off, what makes you so keen on helping new players? This was a question that Shy wanted asked in the last episode.
I mean, it's not even new players specifically. It's just for the past 2 years, I've been staffing on a server and recently decided to part with it and came to this one. So it's kind of just ingrained into me to help anybody I can. And I know how frustrating it can be as a new player or even as an experienced player running into some more custom content, such as like the newest boss, the Nox Demon that I just made a guide on.
Right.
There's some things that you like, no matter how much you know, you just don't know. So since I started really fresh on this server, didn't talk to very many people, I learned a lot of things on my own. And I kind of want to help people from having to deal with some of the things I had to deal with as I was leveling up alone.
Definitely get that. So, sort of leading on to that question, what do you think one piece of advice you wish you'd been given as a new player would be? You know, given that you kind of took that lone wolf route from the beginning.
One thing I wish I really would have known is some of the money making options there are, because there's a lot of servers that you play that are very based around items. Like bossing items are what hold a lot of value. But in this server, it's a little bit different. Skilling items hold a huge value because the high scores is such a fought over position, being in the top high scores on this server. So people will pay good money for a lot of things. And there was a lot of things that I should have been picking up that I had no clue about.
Right.
There's a lot of methods such as pest control that is guaranteed money
Yeah.
that as a new player you can get set up with a good set of gear within a couple of hours of playing if you know some of these things, but without knowing those right off the bat, it's kind of hard.
Yeah, you know, between like pest control and shop runs and, you know, most resource gathering skills, even something as simple as just playing a second account. You know, having a second one running, AFKing something like magic trees, mahoganies, teaks, you know, it doesn't really matter. If it's a resource gathering skill, you can stockpile the items and sell them to someone that's trying to climb on the high scores.
For sure. Don't forget your farm runs.
Oh,
Like if you're watching right now, go do your farm run.
every 70 minutes, man. Gotta set those alarms on your phone.
Exactly.
So I heard you're a bit of an experienced bosser. How did you come to learn so much about PVM?
That comes from about, I'd say 12 or 13 years of actually playing RuneScape, not like the breaks. And whenever there's like a lot of things on here that you can contribute to bosses in actual RuneScape. Like whenever I saw noxious spiders or mirrorback spiders at any of these noxious bosses, I'm like, I know what they do. They're the same as in RuneScape. So it was pretty much just a lot of work on RuneScape through RuneScape 1, 2, and eventually EOC that I've fought most bosses in the game. So it's just a lot of things come simple. It's a ton of practice.
Yeah, practice definitely makes perfect, especially when it comes to most boss concepts, you know. And I find that typically like video game logic in general carries over from, you know, one game to another, really no matter what you're playing. You know, the concepts are all very similar.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So what do you do other than Bliss? I mean, it seems like you play quite a bit, you know, 12 or 13 years of RuneScape experience, and I see you online all the time.
I mean, other than taking care of business in the morning, I don't do much other than play Bliss. I mean, I've been working on making videos and editing stuff. I've been working on learning how to code. I'm currently learning how to play the piano. I do a lot of hobbies, you could say, on the side, but my work only takes about 2 or 4 hours out of my day. So the majority of my day I have to spend on myself, and I really enjoy video games, and RuneScape's just one of those games, or any form of RuneScape is just a kind of game that you can sit there and not pay 100% attention to, but still be able to progress. So I've kind of stuck with it for a long time because I've been able to, whether I'm busy 8 or 10 hours a day, or I'm busy 2 hours a day, I can still keep a good amount of XP coming in without giving it its full attention.
Absolutely. I mean, so I heard you say that you play piano. Could you play me a little tune real quick?
I could. Give me 1 second here.
Curious. I'm gonna challenge you. I'm gonna throw one out there.
No, do not. Do not. I'm not that good yet. I'll just
Moonlight
play
Sonata.
something I know.
Moonlight Sonata.
Oh, okay. I can play a little bit of it. And that's about as much as I got right now.
Not crying. You're crying.
Oh, yep.
So I am curious though. How do you find time for Bliss as a business owner? I mean, you said that you only really take a couple hours out of your day in the morning, and other than that, you know, you're pretty open. Like how do you get to that point?
That was really just being dedicated at a young age. You can get into most trades, which is what I'm in, is electrical. And there's other ways of making passive income, or just whenever you're not doing anything, there are definitely ways of making money.
Yeah, sort
Nowadays.
of like monetizing your time. It's very important.
Yeah, exactly. So, there's a lot of ways to do it, but I would just say staying committed to one thing. Such for me, I can pretty much just pull permits and just have somebody else do the work. And as long as somebody else does the work, then I don't have to do much. It's whenever other people fail to do that I have to invest a lot of time. So as long as you can get a good group behind you, some people to generate work, and you to be able to pull the orders and be able to get the material there, then you're pretty much set. But there's so many different avenues. I'm not an expert on it by any means. It's just how I got away with it, was starting at a young age, making sure I could get myself to a point where I wouldn't have to invest all this time into something that I really didn't want to. Like, I like the work, don't get me wrong, but there's other things I would rather be doing.
I totally get
And
that.
that's,
You know,
it's like what I value most is time.
right, and that is really the most important thing, and I think that's part of what appeals to us so much as RuneScape players and Bliss players in general, is being able to dedicate our time to something that's enjoyable, and you know, there's a huge return on the investment for us. You know, just the amount of input and sort of what you get back from the game, from the sense of community and making friends and just forming these great relationships. You get so much out of it, and that's what I personally enjoy about it. But I'm curious, what do you think you enjoy most about Bliss?
So that's a really tough question. Whenever it comes to the game itself, I really enjoy bossing. I love combat. It's always been my number one thing whenever I've played through RuneScape, was what do I need to do to be able to accomplish this boss as efficient as possible? Because like we were just talking about, is time. If you can kill a boss a minute faster every kill, then you save yourself an hour after 60 kills. So it really, I would say it's bossing, but it's also the community. Whenever you have a good community to play with and people that are supportive and also fun to interact with, then it makes the game so much better. Just like the Discord that we're in right now, our guild Discord. Being in a Discord while I'm playing is probably my favorite thing. Being able to communicate with people and help them out and them help me out, and just having a small little community that you can work with.
Absolutely. And you know, this kind of leads me into something that I'm a little curious about, because I've noticed a lot of our members and a lot of our players here in the guild, they use and utilize recreational substances, whether it's, you know, whether it's cannabis or alcohol or whatever else. I'm curious,
Yeah.
do you use anything recreational to kind of help you enjoy Bliss more?
I wouldn't say the reason I use it is to enjoy Bliss more, but I do enjoy Bliss more whenever I do smoke. I do smoke marijuana. So whenever I do smoke, it is more enjoyable. It's easier just to get lost in it. But as far as the reason I do it, that's not the reason. I really have bad anxiety, and I have since a young child. So it really helps with that, and it helps with being able to get out of my comfort zone. And like I was saying earlier, making a video, like, it's not something that I normally do, and it's something that I've always enjoyed. I love learning about it, but it's hard to put yourself out there, and so that's more of the reason I use it. But as far as Bliss goes, yeah, it definitely makes it more fun.
You know, that's something that a lot of people don't actually realize is, you know, anxiety can be such a crippling thing at times that even the amount of courage it takes to have the idea to create a video, but not only the idea, to actually follow through and put the work in and hit that upload button and wait for the responses and wait for the feedback. You know, it takes a lot. And, you know, for me, as someone who struggles with a lot of social anxiety, you know, I do take medication for that. And I also do occasionally enjoy, you know, the recreational use of cannabis for it. But I definitely can relate. You know, I completely get it. And I feel like a lot of the players here on Bliss are also in the same boat, you know?
Yeah, for sure. There are definitely people who share in our recreational uses.
So I'm
And
curious,
for that reason,
do you think the use of cannabis makes you a more efficient player?
that's it. It really depends. Honestly, it's not as much, I think, the cannabis as it is just my mindset at the time. Um, I can definitely be extremely efficient regardless of what. Like, I could be almost blackout drunk and be on RuneScape and still be efficient. It's just muscle memory at this point.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it, man. I find
But
myself standing in a bank for like 7 hours if I'm high, and you know the high
yeah,
wears
don't get me
off.
wrong. I'll run circles in Edgeville. I'll run circles at home and
Just
just
take yourself to
waste
an agility
time.
lap, man. You know, if you're gonna
Yeah,
run
I
circles.
should be doing agility, but I'm just I wish it would level up with the laps that I run at Edgeville. If there
Yeah.
was a way to count that, I'd be Prestige 9 by now.
Oh my god. So, how do you think the overall health of BlissScape is doing as a RuneScape private server?
So, I mean, it's definitely not bad by any means. I'm looking right now, and there's 33 people currently online on a Friday. It's still before work gets off, or most people get off work. But I have been paying attention to the numbers. It's just the staff and me that's coming out whenever I'm paying attention to how many people are online. But here recently, I can say over the 2 months that 2 to 3 months that I've played, I would say that the player base has definitely been more active, and I've seen a lot of new names. Same with a lot of veteran names have been around, and I see them pop up pretty regularly. But the community is great. Like, other than, of course, the random people that are going to give you problems, and they're just going to be problem people because you can never have everything perfect. But other than that, like, it's just been a great community. A lot of people want to help each other out. A lot of things is based off of money, but a lot of it is also
boring
just
my
good
character.
people. I can tell. I'm boring your character.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But yeah, I definitely agree. I think the BlissScape community has been doing exceptionally well, especially these last few months. A lot of great players have come in, and a lot of old players have stuck around or come back, and that's really good to see. You know, I really enjoy that.
Oh yeah, especially on those double XP weekends.
Oh god, yeah. You
Server
can't
be
miss out on
popping
those.
then.
I mean, shoot, double XP weekend even got my girlfriend to join. That's why Shy's here.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's been fun. It's been fun seeing the ignorance, like just the blatantly not understanding how the game works. She picks it up very quickly, but it's still like they're just things that, as an experienced player, and I'm sure any experienced player knows this, is like you just can't remember that first tree you hit.
I will
You
say
know, you
she is
can't
giving me a dirty
you
look
can't
right
remember
now
that.
because you said the word ignorant in the same sentence as
I
her.
okay. It's not an insult. Okay, ignorance is just the lack of knowledge.
Okay, because I'm not
And
trying
if
to
you've
get.
not played RuneScape, then you have a lack of knowledge of RuneScape.
Okay.
That's all I'm
Do you
trying to
mean
say.
ignorance in the literal sense?
Yes. I'm
Okay.
not trying to be derogatory or.
Well, shoot, man.
Never.
Unfortunately, I think that's all the time that we have for today, but I really appreciate you coming on. It's been a wonderful conversation, man.
Awesome. Yep, no problem, man. Anytime.
Absolutely. And I do have one final question for you, though.
Okay.
Who would you like to see interviewed next?
You know what? I'd like to see you interviewed next.
What? Babe, can he do that? Can he do that?
I think I can do that.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, you're a player on the server, right?
Why didn't I set rules on this?
I'm sorry. I just like
Alright.
to break all the rules.
Well, I guess I'm getting interviewed next.
I'll ask the questions for you.
Alright. Not gonna have me just talking to myself for 15 minutes.
I mean, that'd be fun and everything, but then you'd know the questions and it'd be unfair.
Right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate you coming along for the ride. And thank you, Trevor, for joining us today.
Yep. Have a good one, guys.
Take it easy.